Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is to you. I am grateful that I can share a little bit of God's love and some of His counsel with you. I would like to start off by asking a question. Who actually do you suppose you would like to be around, or you would like to be like a person who drinks a lot of alcohol or somebody that doesn't? Someone who smokes a lot of cigarettes or not? Who do you suppose will live longer and be happier? A person who is happy or sad, or is a vegetarian or not. One thing we have learned from the Adventist studies that have been done by non-Adventists, the U.S. government, that Adventists happen to be the longest living and the healthiest people in the United States, and probably the world, but I won't go beyond that. And they point to Loma Linda, California, where they call it the blue zone, where people, there's more Adventists there, and they choose to live a life as outlined in the Bible in the spirit of prophecy. And as a result, you're healthier and you're happier. And you live longer. And life seems to be sweeter. Now that's a choice we all have to make. But this is what God is telling us through 3 John, probably the shortest book in the whole Bible, near Jude and Revelation. It starts off in verse 2, it says, "Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers." God wants us to be healthy and our soul to prosper, because if we're healthy physically, mentally, and socially, and we will be spiritually. In other words, one thing affects the other. If I got a good relationship with people, I'm going to be happier, and on and on. So what your choices are will determine how long you live, usually, and how healthy you'll be. I look at so many people that are way younger than me. They're at the doctor's office, they're always in aches and pains. Not that I or others don't have those things, but the frequency and the longevity depends on a choice you'll make, because God says, I want you to prosper and be in good health. I want you to rejoice greatly in the truth. I want you to walk in the truth. Well, God's got truth in this book. If we spend time in the book, we will find how to live happier and healthier and be a positive light to other people. I like verse 4. It says, "I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. Beloved, you do faithful whatever you do for the brethren and for strangers." In other words, God wants us to live well and relate to other people well, whether it's a friend or a stranger. I am choosing to go the God's way, which is truth. And people don't realize that in this book and in the spirit of prophecy, there's so much truth about how we live mentally and socially with these relationships and with our health, as it does with our spiritual time, when we take time and walk with God and invite Him to come in and control us. So, folk, just a word to the wise. This counsel and what we get out of the Bible and Spirit of Prophecy will remove the fear of COVID from you if you're willing to do it. If you believe that truth, that's the last thing you got to worry about. And all I find is there's some people, oh man, you can't go to their front porch. You can't do this and you can't do that because they're scared out of their wits. And I'm thinking, God says, I don't want you to be fearful. I want you to worry. If you believe and follow the truth, how to live spiritually, mentally, socially, and physically, guess what? You don't have to fear anything. I want that for my life, for my children, and I want it for you. God bless you.